Here
Oh,
you can see.
oh, hello. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Well, welcome to another episode of Steph's Box. Hell yeah.
And
Here
Jojo's
with,
here too.
oh,
And Jojo.
hi, Jojo. Yeah, we're here with the legendary uh, Get Down Goblin herself, Jan Terry. How are you doing today?
Okay.
And your singing dog Jojo, who is
Yes.
also running for president 2024.
Gonna try to. Yes.
uh,
So do you want him to
nice.
sing for you? I'll let him sing for you. Okay,
Awesome.
Jojo. I'm gonna sing Hot Dog Baby. Hot dog baby, hot dog. Woo! Away. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, up into the blue.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, I heard him on that on your new album. Yeah, he's got some great pipes.
I know he does. Yeah. My ex singing teacher, he auditioned for her, and she says he sings on tune, and he has a great voice, and that was about it.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I heard that song "Hot Dog Baby." Is that it sounded like at the end you kind of wrapped it up like it was like you were at a baseball game.
Yes, that's where we're going to be shooting the video.
Oh,
Um,
excellent.
sometime this month.
Oh, cool. So you're from Chicago. Are you going to try and shoot it at Wrigley Stadium or?
No, we're going to shoot it out here in California, home of the fruits and the nuts. So yeah, we're going to shoot it out here. So
Oh, cool. Is it going to be one of those guerrilla style efforts that you're known for? Just rush in with your little your stealth crew and shoot it and then get back
yeah,
out.
yeah. Well, no, we'll probably watch the game. So
Oh, okay, okay. So
it's
you'll
just,
pay for tickets and everything.
yes, it's just I have to wait to the engineer and the other producer comes back from Indiana. Right now they're in Indiana. When they come back, then we'll get that. And JoJo's going to be singing a new song. It's going to be called "Love You Now." So
Oh, really?
yeah, we have to get in the studio for him to lay down the tracks for that. So
um, nice. Does he write his own lyrics too?
no,
um, yeah, so I'll confess, like I'm not super familiar with your whole catalog. I've heard the hits, and my ex-wife is a huge fan of yours, so she was super excited that we were able to have this conversation. But from what I've been hearing, like I actually just heard you on the Jim and Sam podcast, and you mentioned that you tried to play saxophone when you were 8, which I thought was cool. I'm a saxophone player myself, and then you tried to play guitar, and you said you play a little bit of guitar. And I've noticed in your videos, like sometimes you'll have a guitar with you, and you know, and it looks like you're playing chords, but then you're not doing the shredding like lead guitar parts.
no, no,
Do you record any of the guitars on your albums?
no.
Ah, okay. So it's a cool prop.
I can just fake it, but I can play 2 or 3 chords on the bass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I learned that. No, my hands are too small from when I was trying to learn guitar, and it's kind of hard for me. So I have
Hmm.
the music in my head, so I know how everything goes for. So and I had music theory. Uh,
Oh, okay.
it was
Oh, lost you.
you there?
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. So people are trying to call, and I
Ah,
yeah. So no, I play drums. So drums
right.
is
I,
more.
I I heard you mention that, and which leads me to another question I had. I noticed a lot of your songs they use a drum machine, and I was wondering. Have you recorded drums on your albums ever, or
they're on Skyrockets, and some of the songs for the first one is me drumming, and I wrote Sunset off the drum set. That's that jazz song. So yeah.
oh,
So
cool.
there are drums to it. I think what he does in the studio, is maybe he cleans it up a little bit or something like that. But
Right, post production and
yeah, but it's actually me playing some of the drums on the pieces, and like the third album, the Wild One, that
mm,
was done that was done in Nashville, and they um we had musicians, and they use a number system down there.
a number
Uh,
system for you mean like chord changes, like 1 4 5 4 type
yeah,
deal?
yeah,
Yeah.
when yeah, well, because the other other places don't use that. They read the music, or they do it by ear. You know,
Right.
yeah,
It's it's just a different way of describing the theory. Like I've worked with some people that use it, and it's that's just telling you like so if your root note's like a C, then like a three would be an E, right? So it's just how many steps away from the root note it is. So it's
right. It was kind of different down there, and
mm,
that the Wild One album was expensive because
mm.
yeah, Nashville and their studio down there and everything. It was kind of expensive. So,
So you generally use session players for your recordings?
um, for the one down in Nashville, the one here in California, I used um the two brothers. They play different instruments, so they could do it for
Oh,
me.
okay. So there was someone playing who played the slide guitar on Blame It on the Tequila, because that was great.
Yeah, it's a friend of Jordan's. He told me the name, but I think he put it on the. I think he put the name of the gentleman on the vinyl, on the credit thing for the vinyl. So
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you were telling me that the new album Songs of Hope is coming out on vinyl. Um, do you know when that's going to be released?
well, it's according to Adam, he's talking to them in Canada. That's what's being pressed, and should be done sometime in the middle or near the end of June, and
Mm.
then shipped to him, and then he'll start to ship it out to people that already pre-ordered it, and
Ah, cool.
and, and then he'll have them. So if anybody else wants them, there'll be some, available through him. So
Right, right,
that's nothing to do with it, because I'm doing the autographs and other stuff, and then
right.
in the fall would go back and do the books again. Print up the books and
Oh
make.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard you talking about the autobiography and your children's books that were adapted from your songs. That's very neat. I've been thinking about doing something similar with some of my music. I did want to kind of pick your brain about your creative process, because I'm a musician myself, and I love talking about the technicals. Like when you get an idea for a song. Let's use I guess Get Down Goblin as an example. Um, and I heard you say like you were inspired because you want to do like a holiday song or a song for every month of the year. Um,
That was my goal. I was going to have an album out that have for the whole year. Like in January you have New Year's Eve. February you had Valentine's Day. Um, March you had Irish Day. That's the luck of
mm,
the Irish.
oh yeah,
Fourth and the fourth in April you have IRS.
IRS.
Yeah, well, if you ever got tax ordered by the IRS, you see why. You know,
Yeah.
the only thing is, other than I think you're kind of young, but Back in the '60s, there was a song called Monster Mash.
Oh, I've heard it. Yeah.
Lord, I'm just saying. Other than that, there technically wasn't another Halloween song out there like
Right.
Monster Mash. I don't consider Michael Jackson Thriller, you know, that. But what I'm saying, that's why I really wrote the count and I stuck it in the drawer. And then just before I went into the studio, I wrote down "Get Down Goblin." Then later, I found found the notebook that I had some of the lyrics that I was writing, and we finished it up in the studio.
Okay.
So the count
So
is like the B side of "Get Down Goblin."
you start with your lyrics, right? Like, do you write down your chord progressions? Like, I want it to be in the key of E major, or
No, I start with the lyrics, and I sing it in my head.
mm,
I have the music like in my head. So I have to tell it to the engineer or tell it to somebody that can describe my music so they understand what I'm doing. So
right, right. Okay, I gotcha. Um, yeah, a lot of
yeah, yeah. Even though my grandfather was a musician and he taught kids in grammar school, and he
mhm,
also used to write songs in their pintan pin
pentatonic.
no
Oh,
that Pintel Alley in New York. It's a section that all the musicians used to hang out, and they used to
oh,
write
right.
songs and so like yeah. So PIN,
Oh, oh, I gotcha.
yeah,
um,
yeah, because probably because of my accent. I have a New York, Jersey, South Philly, Boston accent. So
oh, but you spent a lot of time in Chicago, right?
I'm born and raised in Chicago.
Okay, so that's interesting that you get a muddled accent from somewhere that you weren't growing up at. Like, did that come from family? And
Well, like every other year we will go out and visit grandma out in Jersey and New York and stuff. So my dad's side of the family lived there. My mom's side of the family was Chicago. Except her brother had a um my her brother had a home in South Haven, Michigan, but he'll work here in Chicago, so he stayed with us during the week, and then on the weekends he was in Michigan. So
I gotcha. Yeah, accents are weird. I grew up in the South, but most people don't hear a Southern accent. But then when I moved to California, people were like, "Oh, are you from the South?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know who told you." um, uh, yeah, what was I gonna? I was gonna ask you the creative process. Um, Oh, yeah, you opened up for Marilyn Manson in the late '90s, which was pretty cool, I imagine. I was a big fan of his.
yeah, it's 1988, 1998. Um, that was right around when the Columbine shooting happened, and then he.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah,
that was a tough time to be a goth kid.
I opened up for him in October in Chicago. Well, first day, Manson's people flew me out because Rose McGovern's birthday party, and Manson wanted me to perform for her. It was a private thing, surprise, and they were hiding me all over the restaurant and stuff like that. And then I put in close to an hour show performing for her and the friends, and the guy that he was a good friend of mine, but at the time that guy that plays Tricky,
Oh,
Jonathan, yeah,
Twiggy Ramirez, yeah.
he scared the heck out of me
No
because
eyebrows.
no, because he looked like Eddie Scissorhand with that hair. Yeah. So, but John is a really nice guy. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
when I met him, and I had no idea who the heck Marilyn Manson was.
Mm.
Nancy Wesso, who was Trisha Yearwood's PR person, and then I think later did some management work for her.
Mm.
I called her up and I said to her, "Who's Marilyn Manson?" And she says, "Why? What's going on, Jan?" Because she she liked my music, and some people will come in and steal. I would send her, copies of my music and stuff like that, and
Right.
some of her clients will come in there and steal it. So
Oh
then,
no.
so then I have to send it back to her, and then she finally put it under lock and key and says, "You can only see it. You can't touch it." Well, albums is what they were
Yeah.
stealing. So
So I gotta ask. I mean, I've heard of Manson parties, especially when I was in LA and everything. Um, that must have been a pretty wild experience performing at a private party of his, not knowing much about him. Like, was it pretty wild? Lots of drinking and drugs and all of that, or?
no, it was at a restaurant, and next to the restaurant had the bar, and they closed off the bar.
Oh,
It was really nice. And how Manson got me is he was doing his book signing tour.
right.
He had a book out, and he stopped at Tower Records in Bloomingdale's, and my friends Jim and them at Tower Records put together a little press kit for him and gave it to him, and he liked to watch my music videos and stuff like that. Him and Rose. So
Mm,
yeah, but mind you, it was um it was that it was like a couple days before that weekend
mm.
to fly me out in September for her birthday. September the 5th was her birthday, and Manson's is January the 5th. So
Oh, okay. Um, so you didn't know what to expect. Before you opened up for him on a few dates, like did you go and like research, like watch some of his videos on MTV or get one of his albums or anything?
I like that. Well, stars on the dope show. I used to be with him on that dope show tour, and
Ah,
and Manson wanted me to redo his one song, "Beautiful People." The beautiful people, the beautiful people.
I used to play that with my first band in high school. Well, second band, but yeah, that was dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun.
it's so.
um,
Believe it or not, Manson is really intelligent. I mean,
that's what I've heard. Yeah.
yeah, he's really nice, and he's really intelligent, and he does put on his own makeup.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
sometimes I'll be in the dressing room, and he puts on his own makeup. I have friends that help me with my
Right.
makeup. So, yeah, but yeah, but
So he was pretty nice and gracious when you were on tour. You didn't see anything too crazy, or?
no, not really. He's a gentleman, and he's nice, and that's about it. I wasn't really with him too much. Only, come and say hi eh, in his dressing room, and then I go and do my thing. And usually I'm the first act, the one that's thrown out to the wolves.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
first,
Opening act's a tough spot.
the very first act, and then we have another band behind me. So I
Mm.
only do like 20 minutes, and it was scary the first time opening for him. So and
Had you played for a crowd that big before? Like how many people were in the audience that first time?
um the Aragon Ballroom, I think they have over like 3,000 or something like that. I
Mm.
really don't know. Yeah, I performed with a band, and we used to do those music fest type places.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, I performed in but yeah, but it was mostly like country and light pop. It
All
was
right.
different type of an audience than
For sure.
so,
Yeah. Yeah. Country pop audiences don't tend to be as rowdy. Well, it depends on what kind of country you're doing and where you're doing it, because
yeah,
um, around these
so,
parts, there's definitely some rowdy country folks.
yeah,
um, eh,
but so that's about it.
did you hear? Have you heard anything about the mess he's in lately? Like, do you have any opinions on that, or?
I heard it. uh, no comment. I really, there's like two things to each story.
Sure.
So you don't, you don't really know true or not. And and like I said, I was with, I knew him when he was with Rose McGovern.
Right. Right. Um, okay. Yeah, we can stop talking about Manson. That's old news. Oh, I was curious. So you have a degree in broadcasting, correct?
Yeah, I'm a BA. I'm a badass.
I love it. What was it that you were planning on doing with that degree um, before your music kind of took off?
Well, it was to, okay, you're in the front line, but when you're an actor or singer or something, you like to know the aspects of what they do behind scenes.
Sure.
So I've got, a little bit of radio, TV, and film.
Mm,
So, like I said, so you can understand, when they're doing a movie or doing a TV show, what exactly it goes into it. So you're only one part of it. So it was just to learn everything. So,
oh,
you know,
okay. And so so the music was first and the broadcasting was meant to, you know, help in that industry as a musician so that you can, like shoot your own videos and know all the technicals and everything like that, or
no, I went to Columbia College. I got in at Columbia College, and uh, I just wanted to do I learned about broadcasting, but in broadcasting, there's different things. Some people are going to do journalism, and
mm,
I just, wanted to learn the all aspects of whatever.
right.
So,
So
yeah,
did you ever work in broadcasting? Like did you ever pick up some camera gigs or anything?
yeah, I worked for like a cable company. So they were doing something like a home shopping network thing. So
Mm,
I did audio sometimes for them, TV sometimes for them. Then I was sometimes the hostess. Well, here you show you here's this new thing you so that was it.
right.
And as a kid, I was a cute kid, so I used to model for department store for Rebos.
Oh,
Rebos is, yeah, it's out of business, but it was like a Costume Fury Scott and J.C. Penney type of a
right.
place. And then I twice a year they would have the fall and the spring collection where you come out and you do like the one way type things, and then
Mm,
sometimes the for the magazine or for the catalog they'll shoot you and then they'll close, and that's it.
right. Do you still have any of those old photos from your modeling days?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't, Aaron has it, or I don't know where it is. So no.
mm. Um, so yeah, let's talk about Jojo for president a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you said he's got some solid platforms to run on to make this country better.
Well, yeah, he wants to. First thing is he wants to lower gas taxes, and he wants to lower people's taxes, not raise them. And he wants to. He knows what's out there, but he wants to. And he's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. 'Cause he's for the people.
Right.
So he wants to make everything good for everybody. So.
Okay. So what does Jojo think about healthcare for all?
Mm, is that like so like Medicare or Medicaid, that kind of
Right.
stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But just for everybody that needs it instead. Like I'm on Medicaid now, but that's because I have disabilities and stuff. But someone my age, I'm 41. Someone my age who is working two jobs to pay rent and they don't have they can't afford to pay insurance. should they
Yeah,
have medical care or?
yeah. Medical care is a must, like a must MTV.
Yeah.
So and then also try to make insurance companies lower prem- premiums, not raise
Right.
them.
Right.
Yeah, same as like car insurance and stuff like that. Yes. So
Okay.
yeah, because that's a must. I mean, you have the COVA, you have other things that come up, So yeah, that's a must. That we're here in America. We need to be protected. We need to be safe.
Richest country in the world. Yeah. What's JoJo's education platform?
Um, well, he wants to make sure that the kids in grammar school and that learn about history, learn English, learn the functions like when you and I went to school,
Mm,
and yeah, not have cell phones in classes and that. We didn't have that
right.
when back in our school.
No.
So
No, that's wild to me. Like, I didn't have a computer till I was like 20 years old. So, it's like the last generation that didn't grow up with technology. Um, so
yeah,
I
but
can't
we
even imagine.
we came okay. The
Yeah.
only thing is when we were a kid, they stressed it that have to learn the metric system, which some of us did, but we never used it. We never switched to the rest of the world using the metro system, which is
Yeah.
fine. So
Unless you're an engineer or a scientist.
I,
um, and okay, so
and
what's
and also too in JoJo's administration, he is going to have people in his cabinet and people that work for him. He don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. Know your job.
yeah,
If you're a teacher, he'll put you in a position for teaching stuff.
right.
Not if you're a brain scientist doing stuff for housing. No.
Right. And
Yeah.
and so if so JoJo's like son-in-law doesn't get to be Department of the Interior just because he's a relative.
Right. But he
Yeah.
doesn't have. So no.
Right. um, he's snipped. um, what's JoJo's platform on gun control?
Okay. Well, gun control. No more. No United States citizens need to have those M15s or those type of guns. None of those. It's not necessary. Only people that need to have those is the military. Other than that, it's not necessary
So
for
not
that.
even police should have weapons of war.
Well, with the police, it will mostly only be the SWAT team. The normal police don't usually run around with those type of guns.
Right,
So,
right. And what's JoJo's platform on climate change?
well, in the Bible, it, it just it says that we'll probably we'll just have to we'll just have to see how it goes with the we'll watch and have work with the scientists and stuff and see how everything goes so we can adjust and start making changes. So
Listen to the scientists. That sounds like a smart plan to me. Like they study how many years to be experts at something. If somebody's an expert, you should listen. Is my opinion. Um,
yeah,
and
and not listen to these dumb politicians right now. I know I'm not too crazy about them. So
right, agreed. It's a bunch of flapping meat sounds, as I call it.
yeah.
um, okay, so yeah, I don't want to bog you down with politics. I just wanted to uh, get JoJo's take on things. Oh, I was looking at your Facebook, and your hot dog baby picture just cracked me up. I loved it. Like, do you do your own Photoshop work or?
No, 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 no. My adopted cousin Janine is in Switzerland. She did it.
Oh, okay.
She did it. She's in charge of my Redbubble t-shirts and merchandise and stuff like that.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, that's fantastic. For those who haven't seen it, it's a pinup girl riding a hot dog with Jan's face on the body, and it says "hot dog, baby." It's
and JoJo's behind it. There's one that JoJo's riding on the back of it, the hot dog.
oh, nice. I think I missed that one. Yeah, that's great.
But if
Uh,
the only if you buy merchandise on Redbubble, make sure you buy it from. It has to say "Design by Jan Terry" because there's other people that are using my like list and stuff
mm,
and selling stuff. And
ah,
we've been going round and round with Redbubble and some of those places online. You
um,
get with
oh,
them.
you could maybe do like a trademark type deal. So if somebody does that, you can legally go after them.
Oh,
Um,
I trademark it, but
you
it doesn't seem to help. We're still running into problems. So
that's unfortunate. It's everything on the internet so available. It's hard to tell who's taking what and putting it where sometimes. Um,
okay, and you know about Hendrix. He was
oh
a great
right,
guitar.
yeah,
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 Jimi Hendrix. Cynthia Albright Castoplast made a castoplast of his penis. It is
right.
now in the museum in Iceland. I'm the last one she did of my bust, and right now it's in the courts. They're seeing what's going to happen to her collection. They want to put them in museums. So
Oh nice. um, yeah, that's not a lot of people can say that one of their private areas has been immortalized in plaster. Hey, it's technically like a bust, like there's a statue of a bust that's like no arms, but yours is a bust of a bust. That's
but but let me tell you, that stuff going on was freezing. It was cold. And I think it
ah
was for like 20 minutes or something. I don't know. It's on for a short time, but I was freezing there, and they videotaped it, and they've got it. They put portions of it in the documentary, which is called "No Rules,"
no rules. That's
and the
a
same book, "No Rules."
so would you say, Jay and Terry, that you have no rules?
Jan Terry doesn't follow rules for like in the music industry. They tell you. I was coming in as a songwriter, and going trying to get my music to publishers,
Mm,
and so you can get to big people, and they didn't. So that's why I started my own record label and did my own music and stuff like that. But the people in the music industry tell me you can't, because one album, the second album, Highways, has a song that could go into different markets in the radio
mm.
station, and the music industry said to me, "You can't do that." And I said, "Well, I'm not signed with you. I can do what I want."
Right. Yeah, that was back in the day, and I remember because I started gigging in 1993. So I've been at it for a while myself too. And you know, when I was starting, yeah, the whole it used to be you had to cut your demo and get out there and perform, and hopefully get it to the right A&R person and get that sweet record deal that would break out and lead to a career. But nowadays it's not like that. Anybody can start a label, but you're saying you started your own label and said screw the record companies before a bunch of other people were doing it.
Well, because and even though if you are signed to a label, that doesn't mean that they'll cut you an album, but that doesn't
Right.
mean that they'll release it. They sometimes stick people's albums on shelves
Oh yeah.
and for a few years, and then they may release it or they may not. Same as like the movies,
Yeah.
those low budget movies. They shelve them, and then they think, okay, later on maybe we'll put it out, maybe not. So it's like,
Yeah.
and mind you, this was all before um, YouTube and all the media thing was what I was doing. So
Right. Yeah. So but So even before, like you kind of had a bit of a down period like in the 2000s, but like so in the 90s, your career started taking off
Yeah, but
pre.
according to the 2000, um, now you now do you agree with me or you do disagree with me that the internet never lies, right? Wrong.
Oh,
They
it lies all the time.
said I died of cancer and I had 5 husbands.
I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, and you can't find that anywhere. I mean, it was there out there for a while, but now that we were looking for stuff to stick in the documentary and the book, we can't find it anywhere.
Oh wow.
And I
Uh,
read obituaries on me too. So
oh wow, that's got to be a weird feeling.
yeah, no, no. I was in a bad car accident, and then
I did read about that. Yeah.
my parents were my mom and my dad were sick. So yeah.
So that's what slowed you down for a bit. But so what would you attribute your success to in the 90s?
Eh, people say, "Oh, I want to do something. I want to do something." I just did it. I mean,
There you go.
so yeah, and mind you, my stuff is worldwide. I am global, of course, according to the YouTube. But
Mm.
I don't feel like I'm one like McDonald, one of those big people. But everybody says I'm so nice, which I am. I'm I don't fit into those Hollywood parties, so you
Oh,
know,
I
you
never did either. Like that, I
know,
spent 17 years there trying to get a break, and it so much of it is nice to you in the moment, that Hollywood moment. Yeah, let's do lunch, and then never hear from anybody again. Or you try and reach out, and it's like, oh, and they're, I don't know. Everybody's trying to get get theirs, right? And if you don't have anything to offer, then well, you're not valuable. So it's
the
yeah,
catch to so
mhm,
so who cares?
yeah.
But like I said, I just do the music to make people happy, and that's about it.
So
So
actually, that was something I wanted to ask you too. When you had this resurgence on YouTube and the whole worst music video ever. Uh,
yeah, I
do
got
you,
over 4 million hits.
yeah, I know that's a lot. That's really good. Were you surprised?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. So
But
I don't think it's the worst music video out there. I think there's more that there's tons of them because people at WGN and places says this isn't the worst music video. They love my music video
I've
because
made some pretty bad music videos myself, so I, I tend to agree.
yeah, and and then you have record labels that spend fortunes on their artists' music videos, and tell you the truth, some of them are horrible.
Right.
Coming
Oh yeah.
from a film and
And
TV person, So
yeah, it's kind of interesting because like in the 80s and the 90s, with MTV in its heyday, like music videos were really artistic and lots of effects and quick cuts or claymation and all these different things. And now that everybody has access to that type of technology and video tricks on their laptops or their phones, I've noticed music videos tend to just be like one long shot of the artist singing their song, maybe walking down the street with a guitar. And so it's kind of reminiscent of your videos. So it's
yep.
kind of come around like yeah, you were just ahead of the game in a lot of ways. Um, but
Yeah, and I love Beavis and Butthead. They liked it. Beavis.
oh, you were on Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, losing you. Was on Beavis and Butthead.
I think I saw that. Yeah, I love that show.
But try to call them up and find out what episode it is, so you can put it up. Um, the people at MTV that had Beavis and Butthead, they sound like Beavis and Butthead. but I don't know. I don't know. You know, so yeah, so whatever.
Um, so I wanted to ask you this, like, because I think like in the internet age, people latch on to things that like they like things ironically. You know what I mean? They'll see like losing you and be like, oh my god, this video is so bad, you got to see it. I love it. Um, so
And
it's
then
it's.
because of the the Beatles, they was simple, and they had those hooks to it.
Mhm.
Well, some of my songs have hooks that they that the lyrics stick in their heads, and they said, "Jam was singing these songs all the time. It's in my head."
I've
So
had "Skyrocket to Hell" stuck in my head all morning.
yeah, it's just skyrockets. It's skyrockets to hell is just the line in the
Yeah.
song. It's not skyrockets to hell. It's
Yeah.
skyrockets. It's it.
Mm. Um, but so what I was asking, like, uh, so do you intend for your songs to have a comedic value to them, or are they meant to be like sincere from the heart, no tongue in cheek?
They could be whatever somebody wants it to be. You know.
I love that answer.
Mm, if they feel it's comedic, fine. If they feel it's a lovey touch story, fine. It's whatever they're to. At the moment, we're just doing it. So
That's awesome. That's such a great attitude. And me as a comedian as well, like that's something that I'm mindful of is like, okay, are they laughing with me or are they laughing at me? Because um,
well, yeah. Sometimes when I put on the show, I do comedic act in it. So when I had to change and put my high tops on for Journey to Mars and Rock and Roll Santa near the end, then I'll say, oh, it must be prom night because high tops.
yeah.
There was a commercial a long time ago. I think it was for Payless, and the the mother was sitting on the steps talking, and her daughter says, "Where's my high top shoe? Where's this? Where's that?" And the lady said, "Must be prom night or something."
Yeah, what's wrong with wearing high tops to prom? Like you're gonna be on your feet for so long and dancing and.
No, it was just the way she said it, and then I'm like, I'll add that into my thing. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's.
because I remember I did about 50 OJ jokes.
The time was right for him in the '90s for sure. Do you
Well, yeah,
remember any of them?
yeah. What did OJ have every morning?
I don't know what.
Glass of OJ, and then how do you make a instead of making a Blood Mary, he made a Bloody Nicole.
uh, Too soon? No.
And then here's the other one. But it's not OJ joke. It says, "Wh- where did the Challenger crew spend their vacation?"
An ashtray?
No, all over Florida.
Oh.
Remember they splashed down in Florida?
Yeah, I lived in Florida when that happened. I saw it on the
So
TV in the
that's
classroom.
what
Yeah.
I said. And what wood floats?
What's that?
What wood floats?
I don't know.
Natalie. Number Natalie
Oh,
Wood.
yeah. Oof. That's great. I love
Professor.
I love tasteless humor.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I was like in high school, and I seen um, Don Nichols in Las Vegas.
Oh, Don Rickles?
Yeah, he is very dirty.
Oh
The
yeah.
other guy that's really dirty is Red Fox.
Hmm.
I wasn't too crazy about the maniacs, like Anne Margaret's and Sugar McLean that we seen.
Hmm.
I'm it costs like a fortune to see the shows, and I'm like, yeah, they're okay. I prefer the smaller places that had those ventriloquist dummies and things like that,
Oh,
or stand-up comedians or something like that. Yeah, and and
yeah.
the and, and the girls that wear those real fancy hats on their head
Oh,
for the
right. The
chorus
big
like that.
feather things.
Right,
Yeah.
but the only thing is, the closer you are to the stage, the heavier the makeup is,
Yeah.
and they look positively ugly as a kid, and it's back where you see them. So, and they're quite tall.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Y-
So,
Yeah, I think they're already tall before the 5-inch heels.
yep,
Um,
yeah. At one time, I could tell you every hotel on the strip and in the downtown section. Last time I was in Las Vegas was 1979.
oh,
So a
wow.
lot has changed. So I haven't been
Yeah,
there.
the last time I was in Vegas, I think was 2016. I've been a total of 4 times, and it's always crazy. There's just it's a madhouse, Vegas. Great place to visit, I guess sometimes, but like I couldn't imagine ever living there. I mean, that takes a certain kind of person, I think, to you know.
Yeah, and I seen Wayne Newton show. He was good, and my dad was friends with Freddie Bell.
Mm.
He used to be in the '50s with Freddie Bell and the Bellhops.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard of
But,
him. Yeah.
but Freddie had his own show, and he was a, in the lounge.
Mm.
You know, so some of the lounges had shows. I They were good, but some of the main acts, you can have them. I mean, they're overpriced and they're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Nowadays, I think like for a lot of entertainers, when they get a residency on the strip, it's great for them because they get paid, ass loads of money. Um, but I think sometimes it's kind of a signal that their career's not going anywhere else. They're just a Vegas entertainer from then on,
Right.
and I don't know if somebody offered me a residency at Vegas. I'm not saying I would turn it down because, like I said,
No,
buttloads of
that's
money. But
a steady gig and stuff like that.
yeah,
So,
would you
but
would you do a residency on the Strip?
mm, not really. I'm sort
No,
of retired now. So,
sort of retired. Yeah. Well, you just released a new album this year, so that's
yeah, I released a new album, but I don't know about touring. So,
sure. Yeah, that's
so
really hard on the body. It takes a lot of work. Oh, I wanted to pick something up from the conversation you had with Jim and Sam a month ago, and they had asked if you would ever collaborate with somebody on a song.
I said, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And I wanted to pitch this to you. Okay. um, so I'm a musician. I play 14 instruments, trained classic and jazz. I have all my instruments that I'm in, I have a home studio. I've been a recording engineer for 20 years. And, I've got a bunch of albums online that you could listen to if you like. Um, how would you feel about doing a single? Like
Yeah, maybe.
maybe
Yeah.
after you hear my music and make sure it's not garbage, right?
And you also do, I read somewhere, you also do games or something?
Oh
Or,
yeah, I went to school for game design, so yeah, like I've dabbled, made like little stupid video games or like board games and card games, and it's just you know um, growing up as like a poor kid with two little brothers, sometimes there'd be situations where, we got to entertain ourselves somehow. So I was there with like a pen and paper and just like writing down rules for games and cutting up cardboard boxes to make little game pieces and stuff like that. And yeah, that's more of a hobby. It's like I would imagine sort of like going to broadcasting school, going to video game school. It's like by the time I got out of my 4 years in school, I was like, I don't really feel like doing this anymore, and I wouldn't have had time to make music or pursue comedy like entertainment if I was,
Yep.
sitting at a computer 15 hours a day. So,
Well, I like some of the old time comedians like uh Flip Wilson. What you see is what you get. That made you do it. And Roland and Martin,
mm.
um, the Laughton show. That was funny because you had Goldie Hawn on there,
Oh
and
yeah.
she'll say, "To me, sock it to me," and and then Sammy Davis Jr. Here come the judge. Judge come. Here come the judge. And,
Oh, one of my all-time favorite comedians from the back in the days, Rodney Dangerfield.
yeah, I get no respect. I get no respect. And
Oh,
then
talk
Phil,
about
Phil,
ugly! I was so ugly when I was born. The doctor smacked my mother.
yeah, yeah, and then Phyllis Diller.
Oh, she was great. She was so funny.
Yeah,
Um,
she's her husband was always Fang, and she started her career late. You know.
mm, yeah, which gives me hope because I didn't start doing comedy until I was 37. So, um, but oh, and Joan Rivers, she actually has the record for the world record for most laughs per minute.
Yeah,
So,
she'll laugh like a seal. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she was pretty good. So,
yeah,
but the only thing is some of the newer ones out there don't have the same type of comedian stuff like we like.
it's a different if it's a different thing nowadays. People are more about being honest and talking about their lives and their experiences, and it's less of the setup punchline like the
Yeah,
old
like
comedians.
Gracie Allen and George Burns.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Abbott and Costello. Who's on first? What's on second? Where is third?
Yeah.
Those classic things. So, yeah, 'cause
um
yeah, I think of them as those old comedian type people. So,
yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, wanted to give you a chance to like plug some of the stuff that's coming out. You've got Songs for Hope. I saw it on Spotify, but Spotify really screws the musicians. Let's be honest. You get what, like $1,000 for 1 million views or something like that. Where's the better place for people to pick it up? Do you have it on Bandcamp?
yeah, I have it on Bandcamp. I have it on um, iTunes, Amazon, Puritan, all of them. I hooked up with CD Baby,
Oh
and
yeah, that's a good
I
one.
went so I through CD Baby I hooked up to the uh, the other one that it can go worldwide all over the place. So
Right,
so even so sometimes I get like 1 cent from from a single
mm,
because well, I don't like ripping people off. So so if they so it's so I put it on everything, so
right.
wherever it can go. So,
Right. But Bandcamp, I love because they don't take a huge monstrous cut out of the artist pay. It's really built for the artists, and it's kind of sets up. You can set up your. It basically acts like a online storefront for musicians, um, and yeah. I've been using Bandcamp for years. But you've also got um, a book or two books coming out.
no, they're already out, but the
Oh,
only thing is, since I couldn't get a publisher, I publish it myself. So last year I printed some up and we sold it that way, and so we're gonna do it again, and we'll print some more up, and then
oh,
we'll sell it that way. I have to go across the street to my printer and print them up ahead of time, and then but it costs me to
oh. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like Jim and Sam said, pre-order is a good idea. But have you thought about going releasing a digital like e-reader like Kindle version?
Yeah, but the only thing is you missed the because it was built for the children, and you need the pictures.
Right. I think you can still include that in a yeah in an ebook. Well, I can't imagine why you wouldn't be able to. But
And then I have my microwave cookbook out.
oh,
So,
microwave cookbook. um, uh, well, being Italian, I'm sure you've got some great Italian recipes. Like, do you have a homemade meatball recipe?
no, it's stuff. It's for it's for college students, people that live like in motels or traveling, people that um don't really know how to cook, and
Mm.
it's stuff to do in the microwave.
Nice. And what's the name of that book?
It's called Get Down Goblin Cookbook.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Get Down Goblin is a cookbook, and then the other one that's named after a song is a which one is that? The children's book?
Yeah, it's called the Holiday Collection. It has Get Down. It has the Goblin story, and then it has the Rock and Roll Santa story.
Oh, okay. Excellent. And so people can just reach out to you on your social media to order copies or
Yeah, like I said, we're probably not going to start. I'll probably not go across the street till probably, but maybe about September. So the August or September. So then that way they'll have it for October and December.
ah, prime shopping times.
And um, I talked to Adam, and he's again going to do for next year the Rock and Roll Santa, the 45. It was like
Mm.
7, and then he has this little goblin thing that kind of glows in the dark when the thing is playing on the it's playing on one of those
Oh, cool.
tape videos. So
Nice. And somebody's making a documentary about you, you've mentioned. Um,
yes, Darren and I have been on it for a long time ago. He was my bass player in my one band, and so
oh,
he's just about done. They're just cleaning it up. They're finished, but because of that corona, it threw everything off.
oh yeah.
Everything got thrown off for stuff like that. So
Right, right. And so there's not a release date yet on that.
no, not yet. It should be shortly. I don't know. He's been saying it should be shortly so long. So when it comes, it comes. That's it. Because then with that, it's also going to have the book. So the
Okay, so it's going to be a companion package deal.
um well, yeah, but see, with the book, it's going to be sort of like the collection type that I think Jimi Hendrix did one, Led Zeppelin did one. There's a
Mm,
special that they had little things in there that they made duplicate stuff of, because it's got the list of all the songs except for the new album.
mm.
The lyrics, the lyrics
Oh, cool.
will be with it. So
Well, awesome. I'm excited to see all of this coming out. And I just want to thank you again for coming on and chatting with me. This is a
no
lot of fun.
problem.
Cool. Well, you have a great day. All
You too. Talk to you later. Bye.
right. Bye.